I rise to bring before the notice of the House a unique and historical significant form of theatre called Tiatr, which is a concrete theatre existing in Goa for 133 years. Now, Tiatr remains the only popular theatre form in Asia that is truly democratic, secular, community-oriented and independent of elite and feudal influences. I request the Ministry of Culture, Government of India to take immediate steps to initiate and support the process of seeking UNESCO intangible cultural heritage inscription for Tiatr. I would like to place a few demands before the Ministry of Culture. First, recognize Tiatr as a nationally important cultural tradition and take all necessary measures to ensure its promotion, conservation and documentation. Establish a task force committee under the Ministry of Culture in collaboration with the Government of Goa and representatives from the Tiatr community to facilitate the process of UNESCO inscription. Third, encourage national and international research, academic collaboration and digital archiving of Tiatr performances to preserve its historical, artistic and...
Is there anything related to Goa?
Yeah, today, I submitted a letter, a memorandum to the Honorable Minister for Education. A few days back, a whole lot of parents of students who have been studying in schools in the Goa board, they have protested against the schools reopening in April. Now they have a lot of logic in that, because since pre-liberation, post-liberation, we have always had the schools academic year ending in the first week of April, because after that the summer sets in, there is extreme heat and it is very difficult for the school students to withstand that heat. So those are the months, April and May, where the students, there are holidays, they go out in nature, they play. And with the onset of monsoon in June, the schools reopen. Now in Delhi, it is slightly different. Delhi and surrounding areas, the summer sets in, that extreme heat is in June and July. So that's why schools close in June and July. But the academic year starts in April. Now our government in Goa, or the educationists there in the government, blindly, without applying their mind, are following the dictates of the central government. They are following the same pattern of opening the schools in April, like how the schools are being done in Delhi. Now they should have applied their mind. In Delhi, why the schools are closed? Because of the heat in June and July. Now, you can't apply that rule for Goa. Now I can put a counter argument for schools in Delhi. Why don't you close in April and May and start the schools in June? No, it will be wrong, because there is heat in June and July. Similarly, there is heat in Goa in April and May. तो ये इनको लॉजिक नहीं है, ये जो हमारे सरकार है गोवा में और उनके जो ऑफिसर्स हैं एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में, आई थिंक सो दैट एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट हैज बिकम डिफंक्ट, So I have submitted a memorandum on behalf of the parents and students and concerned citizens of Goa to the Honorable Minister. I have told him to review the decision of commencement of the academic year in April-May, and it should be in June.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Honorable Member Capt Viriato Fernandes.
Thank you, sir. The introduction of the Coastal Shipping Bill 2024, introduced in Lok Sabha in December 24, aims to fundamentally revise India's regulatory framework for coastal and marine trade. Sir, I want to point out certain sections which can create a problem for stakeholders operating in the shipping industries. First of all, there is discretionary authority of the Director General and central government. The bill grants significant discretionary powers to the Director General and the central government, raising concerns about potential favoritism and lack of transparency. The broad authority to direct vessel routes, prioritize cargo or passengers, restrict port entry, and exempt certain vessels from the Act's provisions could lead to preferential treatment of specific entities, undermining fair competition. Next, centralized decision-making and the absence of clear criteria for granting exemptions or imposing penalties may disadvantage smaller operators and create an uneven playing field. Additionally, the lack of independent oversight and transparency in decision-making processes heightens the risk of market distortion and raises questions about accountability and impartiality. Safeguards such as independent reviews and other accountability mechanisms are critical to mitigate these risks. Sir, there is a document that is minimum safe manning document. This is a certificate issued by the registrar of the ship, certifying the ranks and qualification required to work on a particular ship. It has been observed that inland vessel seafarers are eligible to sail on Indian coastal ships and river sea vessels. But in many cases, the documentation, training and certification that is required to comply with this is not easy to get. It is very difficult, sir. Hence, the owners and the recruitment agencies of the coastal ships find it difficult to get such inland vessel crew. The registrar should be aware of the ground situation about the crew training. Sir, there is also a certificate called Certificate of Equivalence. All the Indian officers and engineers who get their competency license from foreign countries, which are white flag nations like England, Singapore, New Zealand, etc., as per International Maritime Organization, IMO, should be given an opportunity to work on Indian coastal ships. It has been observed that there is a shortage of highly trained officers and engineers to work on ships like coastal tankers. So Indian nationals who have taken competency certificates from white flag nations can be employed on these vessels. Presently, rules and regulations are in place, but it has been reported that a lot of difficulties are faced by the owners. And it has been reported that authorized recruiting agencies are finding it difficult to get the certificate of equivalence in MMD. That is Mercantile Marine Department. So amendments need to be done so that these Indian officers and engineers transition from working in foreign shipping to coastal shipping is easy. Coastal shipping will get a lot of benefits from the experience and highly skilled training of these seafarers. So there is a clause 3. This clause prohibits the engagement of vessels other than Indian vessels in coasting trade in the coastal waters unless the license for the same has been granted by the Director General of Shipping. If in circumstances a ship required for a particular specialized operation and research is not available in India, then on case-to-case basis, the Director General of Shipping should give a specialized license for that shipping foreign registered vessel after verifying all the documents and ensuring that the Indian ship owners do not have such vessels so that the particular operation can be completed. Clause 7 in the bill, sir. This clause provides that no proper officer of customs shall grant clearance to a vessel other than an Indian vessel engaged in coasting trade to enter or depart from a port unless a license is produced by the licensee or agent of such a vessel. It further provides for the detention of a vessel which fails to comply with the requirements of the bill. All the concerned departments which are related to coastal shipping, especially the government agencies such as customs, immigration, port authorities, should be well aware of the latest circulars, orders and notices. So I'll complete by giving some important suggestions, sir. So Indian shipbuilders should be encouraged to install machinery and equipment on the board the coastal ships which are far as possible are made in India and Indian MSCs should be involved in the ship design. Next, the authority to delegate the statutory certificate of the ship should be given to the ISCS Classification Society. Only 2 more points, sir. Fuel subsidy to be given for coastal vessels. Furthermore, government should support infrastructure for hybrid vessels like battery stations at reduced tariffs and port. When the coastal vessels comes alongside a port, shore power should be made easily available to all the ships. This will reduce the carbon footprints and also enable the ship staff to carry out equipment maintenance. Presently, not many Indian ports have the facility of giving shore power to the ships. Last, collateral free loans for construction of coastal vessels, with the vessel itself being the collateral with an affiliation to the government and same to be mentioned in the registry certificate.
K. Francis
Thank you, sir.
Darji.